contemplate on whatever we have heard and understand it properly. The scriptures tells us who I am. Once I have understood it beyond all doubts, this understanding happens when we contemplate on it. It's like mathematics. A formula is there or some problem is there. We can understand it by going through the process, the mathematical steps we understand. Or like a scientist who wants to send a satellite up on the moon. They do all the research before sending the satellite. They have to understand the whole process on the paper first, everything. Once it is understood, then they implement it. But many times on the paper itself, certain confusion, certain problem comes which they try to resolve. So after listening to the scriptures, we have to contemplate and become convinced about my own nature. The scripture says, I am like space. I am not the body, the mind, the intellect. I am like that space. This statement of the scriptures has to be understood intellectually. That intellectual appreciation of what the scripture is saying about myself is called jnana, knowledge. Knowledge doesn't mean any other knowledge, general knowledge, and who is the president of Falana country, or what did cricketer scored in his last match. Not that type of general knowledge. And not knowledge about the other things in the scripture also. Why Bhishma Pitamaha did like that, or what happened to Ramchandra ji, or not that type of knowledge. When we say is what does scriptures talk about yourself, not about others. Others is gossip. What, who did, why and all is gossip only. Some are divine gossip. But they are also gossips only. What he did and why he did and why he went there and all. What the Upanishad tells you about your own self? Who am I? What do they say? That, when we understand, is called jnana. In Tattva Bodh, Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji very beautifully he indicates the nature of that Atma. He says Atma is stula sukshma karana sharirad vyatiriktah. Sanskrit I will first tell you. Stula sukshma karana sharirad vyatiriktah panchakoshatita san avasthatraya sakshi Satchidananda Swarupa san yat tishtati sa Atma. That Atma, Atma means I. Atma doesn't mean some ghost or something. Atma is I, the pure I consciousness. Not I, the thought, not I, the body, not I, the imagination, but I, the actual, real self. That Atma is something different from the gross physical body, different from our mind, and different from the impressions of our past lives also. That Atma is different from the 5 koshas, the 5 coverings on this Atma. The Annamaya kosh made up of food, the physical body, the Pranamaya kosh, the life principle in us, the Manomaya kosh, the mind, the Vijnanamaya kosh, the intelligence which is there within us, and Anandamaya kosh, again, that impressions of the past, when we identify with it, which we experience that Ananda like in deep sleep state. All these are koshas. Different from this is that Atma. Atma is the witness of the waking, the dream and the deep sleep state. It is indicated as of the nature of Sat, Chit and Ananda, pure existence, pure knowledge and pure bliss. This is what the scriptures tell us. Tattvamasi, you are this Atma. And that is what we have studied in the 2nd chapter. You can refer to the 2nd chapter. Right in the beginning itself, Bhagavan told Arjuna that you are not this body, you are that Atma which is neither born nor does it die. So when we understand this intellectually and are convinced beyond all doubts, then it is called knowledge. And this knowledge happens through Shravan and Manan, by listening and by contemplating on it. But the next word is very important, Vijnana. Vijnana means actual experience of myself as this Atma. That's called realization. It's also called aparoksha anubhuti, direct experience of my own self by my own self. So that is called Vijnana. So when we go on this path of meditation, we come to directly recognize, realize ourselves as we are. So that is Vijnana. So a yoga road who has walked this path has become completely satisfied not only with knowledge, but now he has gained that Vijnana also. So Jnana Vijnana Triptatma. There are no doubts. See, as long as we are only thinking, contemplating, some doubt may remain. But once we experience it, then there are no doubts. The great realized masters like Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi has no doubt about his own self. You cannot confuse him. You cannot tell him that you are someone else. The scriptures are just bluffing. You can't confuse him because he is directly experiencing it. So Vijnana is direct realization, experience of that truth. So Jnana Vijnana Triptatma, such a person becomes kutastaha, becomes steady in his abidance in the self. He becomes Stita Pradnya. Kutastaha becomes steady, becomes of the nature of that self alone, free from all agitation, free from all disturbance, like an anvil. That anvil is there which remains steady, on which all those metal gets shaped. You've seen this anvil which the blacksmith uses. So the heated iron is pounded and hammered on top. The iron gets shaped into different forms or different shape comes, but that anvil remains steady. Similarly, this person remains absolutely steady in his own self. Mind and intellect and all keeps on taking different forms and shape, but he remains steady as the self. Kutasthaha, established in his self. Vijitendriyaha, completely under control of his senses. The senses do not move at all without his permission. And that we see in the eyes of a realized master. There is no restlessness in their eyes, no restlessness in their body, because it is completely still. It doesn't move without their permission. In Yoga Vasishtha it is said that a realized master doesn't get surprised. नहीं? Generally we get surprised. कुछ होता है, we get surprised. ऐसा हो गया. But a realized master is not surprised by anything. Even if the sun moves away or something happens or moon, another moon appears, let us say. Another moon appears, not surprised. Suddenly a snake comes, not surprised. Once Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi was sitting with his disciples, and quietly, everyone was quiet, because he was absolutely silent and still. Then one snake entered there, and all of them got scared and started running here and there. But Bhagavan continued to be quiet. He was aware of the snake, everything, but it did not surprise him. An ignorant person gets surprised by everything. Everything becomes ascharya only. So, he remains completely balanced, The mind is like the calm lake, absolutely still, and the senses completely under control. Vijitendriyaha. Such a person is called yuktaha, and a realized master, one who has gained complete integration, one who is established in his own self. Yuktaha. See, one is yogi, and yogi, when he attains his goal, is called yuktaha. So, yuktaha iti uchyate yogi. Such a yogi has become yuktaha. Samaloštashma kanchanaha. Again, he is sama towards all objects. All objects are seen in the same way. See, there are three things which comes in our life. One is situation, another is objects, and the third is different type of beings. So here in the three verses is mentioned, first we have seen Shita, Ushna and all are the different environment which we have to face, heat and cold, or happy, unhappy, or honor, dishonor. In that also he remains sama, because he is established in that Brahma which is sama. Then he looks at all objects also with the same vision, because in all that Brahma or that Atma is common. Outwardly only the names and forms are different, but essentially all of them are expression of my own self. Just as in your dream, you dream the mountains, you dream the river, you dream dream gold, you dream silver, you dream a stone, and if someone asks you in your dream, what is this? A mountain. What is this? This is gold, and this is a stone. For you, gold may be valuable there. You say, no, I have to keep this gold. Stone, you can throw it away. But when we wake up, we come to know the stone as well as gold was made from the same material, our mind. But in the dream, we don't understand this. When we wake up, we understand. Similarly, now when we look from the standpoint of an ignorant person, everything appears different. Gold is more valuable. But when we look from the standpoint of this realization, all are same. Hari Vyapak Sarvatra Samana Premate Pragata Hoi Mai Jana. In Ramayana also Tulsidas ji say that Bhagwan is everywhere same, homogeneous, everywhere same. So Samaloštashma Kanchanaha, for this person, the Loshta means a mud, Ashma, the stone, Kanchanaha, gold, are sama. Essentially, they are all same. They may have different utility in the world outside. He understands that this is gold, this is stone and all. But he doesn't give them what you call value, superimposed value, which are not there. His state of happiness, his state of peace doesn't depend on those outer objects. See, when our peace and happiness depends on the outer object, we evaluate them differently. We look at the world from our standpoint. What is beneficial to us, we say it is very valuable. What is not, we say it is chalta hai. Once a teacher asked the child that what is the use of a tail for a rat? Rats, they have long tail, mouse, long tail. So what is the purpose of this tail? So the child thought for a long time, and then he said, yes. When that mouse dies, we can pick it up by the tail and throw it in the garbage. That is the purpose. Now this purpose he saw from his own standpoint. Actually, what is the purpose? We have to ask the mouse only. Or those who do research on the mouse and all. They might be knowing. So similarly, we look at the world from from a human being's standpoint, and we say this is all made for my pleasure. The sun rises for me, the moon rises for me, animals are meant for me, birds are meant for me. Land belongs to me. The trees and all belongs to me. It's all selfish, egoistic attitude of looking at the world as though the world is made for my entertainment. Here, the Mahatma looks at the whole world with the same vision, that everything is pure existence only. The existence of one object and another object is same. When we say a stone exists and a gold exists, the existence is same in both of them. The consciousness because of which one is aware of gold and stone is also same. And the joy which one experiences when we are not dependent on them is also same. So Mahatma looks at all the objects of this world, the same vision. Samaloštashma kanchanaha. Like we have seen in the previous chapter also, te vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavihastini shunicheva swapakecha pandita samadarshinaha. Towards all beings, his drishti, vision is saman. Such a person is called yukta. Yukta ityuchyate yogi samaloštashma kanchanaha. This is the phala of that realization. One comes to recognize one's own self and one sees one's own self in all. Further, Bhagavan says, Saran mitraryudasena madhyasthadvesha bandhushu sadhushvapi cha papeshu samabuddhirvishishyate Saran mitraryudasena madhyasthadvesha bandhushu sadhushvapi cha papeshu samabuddhirvishishyate. Again, that samatva is indicated here. One who has recognized, realized the self, from that state of self-realization, when he looks, he sees the same self everywhere. That the whole world becomes an expression of the same self. Just as we see gold ornaments, one who has recognized the gold, he sees that gold in all the ornaments. Though the shape and size and name of all the ornaments are different, but he sees that same gold is there. One who has recognized the water looks at all the waves with the same vision. They are different only in name and they are different only in forms. Essentially, they are same. Similarly, all of us, appears different only with respect to the body, with respect to the mind, with respect to the intellect. But essentially, you, me, and everyone is same. Our essential nature is same. Our non-essential nature appears different and changing. That is not my real nature. Essentially, all of us are one. There is no doubt about it. So a realized master sees this and he remains same. Here it says he looks at Surut. Surut means a well-wisher. Our well-wisher. See, when we live in this world, we develop different type of relationship with different type of people. Depending on my own nature of the body, mind, intellect, and depending on the nature of the other person, we develop different relationship. And those relationships also keep on changing. One day somebody might be our friend, next day might become our enemy. They keep on changing, just like we see the environment changing, the weather changing. The particles, air particles and all, sometimes they come and meet, sometimes they depart. Like there is a song in Marathi also which says that when those logs of wood are thrown into the river, they are taken away downstream. Sometimes those logs they come together and sometimes they are separated. When you go to Gangaji, you offer the flowers or the little diyas are offered. Lot of people offer that. Sometimes they go together. We will put diyas. So while putting the diya, it is together, but by the time you see it, both of them have gone apart. हम साथ साथ चलेंगे कुछ नहीं. Then the one diya goes somewhere, another diya goes somewhere else. Some diyas actually, as you put, they get drowned there itself. I feel so bad. अरे कितना प्रेम से दिया मैंने डाला वो जो चले गए अंदर पानी में. Some get stuck at one place and again moves there only. Then you try to push it. If my diya has got stuck, you are not interested in other diyas which are put. मेरा दिया वहाँ पर अटक गया है. I want to push it. So anyway, so just they come together and they go apart. Similarly, here in this world, when we live, we make friendship with someone. Somebody becomes our enemy. Some becomes our well-wisher. Some becomes our. Some are not interested, indifferent. So this is natural. In Bhaja Govindam, Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji says, for a seeker should not put forth effort in either becoming friendly with someone or becoming an enemy with someone. Instead of that, you just look at everyone as your own self. Outwardly, whatever is required, you do. With your enemy, you behave like an enemy. With your friend, you behave like a friend. But in them, you see the same self. Ramchandra ji saw his own self in Ravan also, and he saw his own self in Vibhishan also. But Vibhishan he treated as his friend, and Ravan he fought with him as his enemy. So, Suhran Mitra Yudasenam Madhyastha Dveshya Bandhushu Sadhushvapicha Papeshu Samabuddhihi. Samabuddhi, his buddhi remains same. Buddhi means his understanding, his wisdom, his vision remains same in all the different type of beings. Suhrat, well-wisher. One who, without expecting anything in return, does something good to us is called a well-wisher. Suhrat. There are many people who are suhrat to us in our life without any expectation in return. They will do something good to us. They are suhrat. Then mitra. Mitra are those who are very affectionate towards us. They have special affection for us. They guide us on the right path. They prevent us from going on the wrong direction. They are always there with us. They accept us completely. Acceptance is there. They accept our good as well as the bad points. They accept us completely. They are our mitra, friends. Then there are those who are udasin. Udasin means they are indifferent. Okay, before mitra and after mitra, ari. Ari means our enemies. Enemies, without any rhyme and reason, or maybe with rhyme and reason, they become our enemy. Our enemy. They want to harm and hurt us in whatever possible way. So keep on planning in their own mind. Therefore, if I consider someone my enemy, or I become somebody's enemy, or what you call, I want to hurt someone, keep on planning. That person occupies my mind, my heart more. So this enemy, Ari. Then Udasin. Udasin means neither interested, indifferent towards me. There are some people who are Udasin. They don't just, either they are neither happy with you nor unhappy with you. Indifferent. Udasin. If you tell you want to know, no. Neither interested to know nor interested in anything. Udasin, indifferent. Then there are madhyastha. Madhyastha means one who is, suppose somebody is your enemy, then madhyastha is interested in you also and in your enemy also. In the sense, he wants to do the welfare of both. He looks at the welfare of you and the other person also. So we sometimes mediator. We take their help. They are friendly towards us and friendly towards our enemy also. So they are in between, like madhyastha. Then dvesha. Dvesha means there are some people whom you don't like. Atmanaha apriyaha. They are just irritating like. It's possible that in this world you might get irritated by so many people. There's no guarantee that you walk the spiritual path, everyone is friendly and you go and are friendly with everyone. Nothing like that. Even if you are on this path, there are people who can irritate you like anything. I don't want to reveal my own secret. But I also have some people who irritate me. Anyway, but it is possible. And you can also be irritating to others. I am not saying that you cannot be. You can be quite irritating to others. The most surprising sometimes that other fellow doesn't know that you are irritating, and you might not know that you are. So it happens. So they are called, what are they called? Dvesha. Dvesha, you don't like. Like taste, like our senses, they have their own likes and dislikes. They are born with it. We have seen in the 3rd chapter, Indriyasyarthe ragadvesho vyavasthito. Even if you walk this path of spirituality, your senses will have their own likes and dislikes. You will like some food, you will not like some food. You will like some music, you will not like some music. Only thing we have to do as a spiritual seeker, that dislikes and dislikes should not come in the way of our sadhana towards when we walk on this path. Don't get carried away by your likes and dislikes. Don't try to eliminate them, they will be there. If one like goes, another will come. One dislike goes, another will come. You will not become free of likes and dislikes completely till we attain the state of realization. So only thing we have to do is, those things should not come in my way when I am walking this path of dharma or of this yoga. They should not disturb me. So there are some who are dvesha, then bandhushu, bandhu means my relatives of this body. Because of my birth in a particular family, I have relatives. See, friends we can choose, but relatives we are born with, like we can't choose them. If somebody is your uncle, you are stuck with that uncle throughout life. You can't help it. He can also not help it. So you have to say, Mera mama hai. When you go to some parties and all, some relatives also come. You are stuck with them. Therefore, they are called sambandhi. Sambandhi means they bind you like anything. They bind, bandhan. So they are there, bandhu. They are called bandhus. So this bandhushu, then sadhu. Sadhu is one who follows the path of goodness, righteousness. A good person is called sadhu. And papi, papeshu. Papi is the one who follows the path of unrighteousness, bad person. But towards all, this realized master, one who is established in his own self, develops a vision of sameness. He sees the same tattva in all, but he interacts with them differently, because interaction is done towards the body and the mind, not with the Atma. He sees that Atma same in all. He sees the same Atma in the tiger also and in a cow also. But he will not approach the tiger. He stay away from the tiger. He will approach the cow. Similarly, he sees the same Atma in enemy as well as friend, but he will be friendly